Thank you for taking the time to watch this video hosted by Transoft Solutions during Mobility Week. This is part 3, the final video in our 3-part series. Today's topic is future cities with less modal conflicts and a safer shared space for micromobility and walking. Your host today is myself, Willem Bouwer. I'm the Business Development Manager, Civil and Transportations for Transoft Solutions EMEA. In this 3-part series, our first part was about safety concerns at intersections and roads where multiple modes of transport share the same space. The second one was success stories, new urban developments, and complete streets concepts, and many more. The final one in this series that we're going to watch today is future cities with less modal conflicts and a safer shared space for micromobility. During this video, you will learn more about the design principles for new futuristic imagined cities, mobility, the concept of sometimes you apply modal segregation and sometimes there's a modal mix. Future cities, I'm going to show you some design concepts and actual implementations, and then I'll go into quickly software to support safety, flight paths, swept path analysis, landscaping, and many more in support of our future megacities. The top 10 megacities in 2024, I've got them listed on the left. And this will grow in 2050. You can see new megacities emerging, and a lot of that in the China region and a lot in Africa as well. I want to show you the next one, which is an animated one. And here you can see that in the next 50 years, after the previous 2050 projection, up to 2100, there are many new megacities that will be established with a population of more than 10 million, which is the criteria. Lots of them will be in Africa. You can see it here. This will bring huge challenges to create megacities that have sustainable ecosystems and that are livable and have adequate mobility. What lessons have we learned from the case studies in our last 2 videos? Definitely a modal shift is required, which means less or no cars for our future cities, more walking and cycling, sustainable transit for commuters, sustainable last mile deliveries. There's a need for urban development plans and transportation plans that includes a mix of some of the concepts that we looked at in the previous videos. These include complete streets principles where in some streets, this will apply, and public urban spaces that will be constructed new or will be reclaimed, and the super block concept. And there are many more that will form the basis of the new megacities. And as the years go on, more concepts will be developed. We need smarter cities, and we need to claim back the space that was traditionally allocated to cars and reallocate them in a more sustainable way. Therefore, we need more green, livable spaces. There must be a good balance between living, working, playing next to green areas. And this will be a big challenge for future cities to implement this correctly. Considerations for new cities is to create sustainable design with mixed use and many activities. We should use materials that minimize our impact on the environment, and we must create buildings and spaces that support live, work, play in a safe environment. We must design for people first. There must be inclusion and access for all. Design should be people-centric for those that live, work, and play in the urban environment. More walkable and cycling areas promotes a healthier lifestyle and reduces the overall carbon footprint. Scalable urban design is required. This is a scaled approach to urban density. It is required to bring back living spaces to the city. Living spaces can be at the ground level, but also at higher levels of buildings and places. A balance can be found between tall and medium-sized buildings, allowing for a layered work and living space environment. We must reclaim existing spaces allocated to cars and create public open spaces. This can be introduced by the concept of mixed public open spaces and superblocks, or even squares and courtyards. These spaces should be able to be adapted to the changing needs of the users. We must create multiple layered cities. We must use elevation and vertical layering to design a city that have multiple ground floors, work and amenity layers that will take the pressure of our traditional street. First and last mile mobility and walkability is very important. We must create walkable cities where walking, cycling, and micromobility are prioritized over cars. A walkable city also needs a well functioning public transport system, and that must be integrated well. We must develop a sustainable mobility ecosystem for all. There are many more urban development and traffic engineering perspectives that go hand in hand with this. And over the years, many more will be developed and integrated into our megacities of the future. Future modes of transport, definitely walking and cycling, e-bikes, e-scooters, e-skateboards, mopeds, self-balanced unicycles, hoverboards, obviously autonomous vehicles, very light rail, and these are lower capacity rail on tracks that are very quick and easy to install, autonomous rail, rapid transit, and then autonomous and trackless trams. Now, these trackless trams are more comfortable than buses. They are very easy to install in existing environments. They are fast and convenient to use. Well, urban cable cars, I've seen quite a number of them lately. Air vehicles, definitely. Electric vehicle takeoff and landing, which is the eVTOL. And we've seen tests of those. And then the big one that I'm hoping for is drone buses. Future cities could have some of the following characteristics amongst others. Walking only areas. And when I say walking only areas, I'm talking about walking only areas, but also places to sit down, to gather. Typically, what we're talking about is our public open spaces. Mixed low speed micro mobility and walking together. Higher speed micro mobility with dedicated lanes. So there could be combinations of this. And separated, protected high speed transit. And this is where we're talking about rail, trams, and buses. Air transport, low and high capacity. And then there must be mobility hubs for mode interchanges. And you'll have air transport linking to rail, tram, bus, people walking, people cycling, people using micromobility. Cars must be reduced or entirely removed. Modal conflicts will be reduced, especially if you look at, in some cases, implementing level separation. And I'll show you some pictures of this later. So, futuristic cities example, Paris. This design was commissioned in the wake of the Climate Energy Plan of Paris. He represented 8 prototypes of towers that integrate elements of nature and technology, and rainwater retention tanks and green walls. So by bringing in green spaces and farm life into cities, like on the right-hand side, and integrating community resources with this city project aims to bring greenery back into the city and provide sources of renewable energy. Walking and cycling and micromobility will be promoted. And you will also find that for longer distances, high-speed transit like bus, trains, and rail will be used. You can see some of that on the picture of the right and some futuristic vehicles. Then I've got an example of Chengdu, Jiangsu, China. You can see on the left the futuristic version of it, phase 1 implementation on the right. With the construction of this bio-industry functional zone, it is a crucial starting point in the planning that highlights the concepts of innovation, coordination, green openness, and sharing of spaces. This international biotown will be built into a world-class new bio-industry zone that balances work, living, and coordinates people in the urban space and industries, and it embodies the concept of a park city. The megacity on the left, this is what it will look like, hopefully in 2100, a multi-layered city with less cars. Another futuristic city, this is the eco-city. Tianjin is already a megacity at the moment, with more than 13 million inhabitants, according to the 2020 census. This city is a technology and port city. The future megacity might look like the images that you see here on this slide. So just to quickly show you some of the technology that could assist you with your current and future cities and megacity designs. Designing safer walking and micromobility routes, the public shared spaces and landscapes, and air transport. For civil and transportation, we have AutoTurn. We do swept path analysis of vehicle movements. And then we have ParkCat can be used to design those special bays for new air transport vehicles, whether that's for existing or new parking facilities. Guide signs gives us, as the user, the capability to design wayfinding signs for shared spaces and other routes on various levels of our current and future multi-layer megacities. Keyscape currently is used for landscape architecture design, and I can see that this will be used in our future designs. Keyscape will be ideal to place the correct mixture of plants along the new pedestrianized walkways. The improvements in infrastructure changes can be monitored with key accident, where we monitor before and after changes, where we look at accidents and incidents. Key Accident and Keyscape, they are currently UK-based products, and especially with London becoming a mega city, this will be very important. And again, Key Sign is used to do signage. Then on the safety side, definitely traffic safe, proactive road safety. We do this with AI video analytics, where we identify the conflicts, near misses, and then we use that to analyze the current state, and then we propose mitigating measures, and then with Traffic Safe you can do before and after studies. Traffic Safe Connect is a real-time system for monitoring real-time dangerous intersections. Traffic Safe Rail will play a crucial part in monitoring the road user compliance and risk through the different stages of a rail crossing. And then on the aviation side, AirTop, in the future where standard airplanes, helicopters, drone buses, and smaller electrical drones will be used for travel, it will be important to plan the airway carefully and to monitor it. Not only will it be used in the traditional long airplane flights, but for shorter trips by drones, drone buses, and other cargo delivery air vehicles. It is a comprehensive suite of tools designed to model, simulate, and visualize airport and air traffic operation. AVPlan is advanced aircraft maneuver simulations, including aircraft pushback operations, and this you'll use at the modal interchanges or at the airports. And Aero Central is a software as a service, a SaaS platform for sharing key airside information and operational information in one easy, accessible, and centralized system. It involves stand guides and specifications, allowing airports, airlines, and ground service providers to present and access various aircraft parking stand configurations, equipment locations, turnaround procedures, and aircraft technical specifications to support safer and more efficient decision making. Now imagine all of this coming together in a mega city where you have multiple modes of transport and you have to manage that in a safe environment. And this will definitely assist future cities and our current cities to have safer airspaces. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching the 3 videos in this series. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon.